So you're an end user and you have this app installed on your phone to interact with the XRP ledger. Where is the XRP ledger? Where is the XRP ledger? Or you're a developer and you're interacting with the XRP ledger to submit transactions and fetch transaction results. Or you're a user who wants to check their trust lines and their balances. This XRP ledger, where does it live? I mean, we all know it's decentralized and on the internet. But what is that? At the end of the day, the XRP ledger is made of a whole bunch of nodes. And these nodes, there are servers or computers. Servers are basically computers, but then configured to run full time at high capacity. And these servers, these nodes, they run all around the world. But how does your phone know, how does some know where to reach out to? Well, it doesn't really. We tell the application where to connect to. Like a developer would make a connection to a node, and then they can query the XRPL, and then they can check balances and submit transactions. So, as you can imagine, these endpoints, these nodes you actually get to connect to, they need to be highly available, and they need to be able to handle a lot of simultaneous connections, which is quite hard to do. One machine cannot do that. We have had a couple of peaks in the past with over 30,000 simultaneous connections, actively querying the ledger. I mean, 100,000 simultaneous connections is manageable if they're idle. But if you have 30,000 users who are checking their balances, submitting transactions, checking their history, adding trust lines, that's a lot of load. You don't need 1 or 2 or 3 machines, you need a whole cluster of machines. And these machines are very expensive. They need the best of the best hardware. Now, Ripple provides one of those clusters, free of charge for the world. It's a public cluster. But just having Ripple run one cluster, that's not really decentralization. It's also not what you want. You want to have options to choose from, and we can also not ask users to run their own node. It's hard. They definitely don't know how to install. It's not efficient. And you're on the road. You're on 5G somewhere. You want to check your balance, right? So you don't want your computer at home to be on for that. So you need clusters. You need endpoints to connect to the XRPL, basically your gateway into the decentralized XRP ledger. And being the people behind Sum, we are responsible for most of the traffic, actually. Because those 30,000 connections, it's safe to say that, for example, 25,000 of those connections came from our software product. So we feel a responsibility to contribute there. So we needed more hardware, more bare metal, more nodes, more infrastructure, better internet connections, more machinery, more electricity, all of that to run these machines. And that's very expensive. So that's somewhere last year, 2021, when the network was going absolutely crazy with everybody going on their trust line frenzy and getting assets and trading them. The network had a very hard time, or some of the network was still going on, but it was just very hard to get in, to connect to one of the public nodes. So that's when I called upon the XRPL community and asked them to contribute to the health of the network, basically. You will be provided with access to the network anyway, but please, if you have some money to spare, please help out. We'll provide the hands, we'll install them, we'll manage them, we'll maintain them, but allow us to buy more machinery, install it, plug it in, and make sure that the XRPL is available for all. And a lot of users contributed, way more than we ever expected, to the point where we were able to scale the amount of nodes from, I believe there were 8 back in the day, to over 35 now. Partially because of community contributions, partially because the XRP Ledger Foundation and other community members, individuals, actually contribute. But whenever we're going to see another uptick in traffic, I am very confident that we can do a lot more than 30,000 connections.